They're in Hollywood movies all the time. The unforgettable residences and those picture-perfect mansions. Or perhaps even that haunted house. But rarely do we ever think that these homes are a part of the real world. Welcome to Schmancy, the place where we talk all things rich, exclusive, and fancy schmancy. Today we are taking you across Hollywood's most iconic settings and into the grandiose residences of the big screen. These are the homes that can fool you into thinking you will run into your favorite character. The locations where the lines between fiction and reality will surely be blurred. Folks, take out your notepads. Because after watching this video, there's a chance you might want to check out these dream homes for yourself. So without further delay, here are 13 movie mansions that actually exist. Number 1. The Cullen House. This sleek modern mansion is the home that Edward Cullen lived with his very refined coven of vampires in the first of the Twilight movies. It's the same 3-story mansion where he introduced Bella to their sophisticated vampire lifestyle. Though the movie has the Cullen residence placed in Forks, Washington, it is actually located in the woodsy outskirts of Portland, Oregon. Tucked away in the midst of lush trees, it comes with floor-to-ceiling windows taking up the entire southern wall, a cantilevered patio. And no, it was not renovated by Esme Cullen as the movie states. More like built from scratch, in 2001. The home is currently a private residence, and not open to the public. However, it remains a popular spot attracting fans who want to catch a glimpse, or take a few selfies in front of the famous Cullen house. Sorry to have to disappoint you, but there are also no fashionable vampires living on the premises. Number 2. The McAllister Home. This elegant Georgian-style mansion, with its red brick exterior, became famous as the McAllister family residence in the 1990 Christmas classic, Home Alone. Located within the affluent Chicago suburb of Winnetka, Illinois, this is the same home that 8-year-old Kevin defended from 2 burglars after he was accidentally left behind by his family. And interestingly enough, some of the rooms still look today just as they did in the movie, more than 30 years ago. Nestled within a peaceful tree-lined neighborhood, the unforgettable home is very much a private residence, and not open to the public. However, this hasn't kept it from being a popular destination for the multitude of fans who gather round outside snapping pictures. Particularly around the holidays. Number 3. Regina George's Mansion. If you recognize this private gated estate, with its fountain and long grey brick driveway, from the 2004 movie Mean Girls, then you guessed correctly. Nestled in Toronto's ultra-swanky Bridle Path neighborhood, and just around the corner from Drake's mansion, this grandiose facade of white columns and manicured lawns, was the home of the not-so-nice but perfectly privileged Regina George. Though she may not have been the best of company, you would have endured her rude comments, just for a chance to see the inside of her magnificent home. Today, the private residence is still just as fetch as it was back in 2004. Showcasing more than 18,000 square feet with soaring ceilings, a grand staircase, and a recent asking price of $27 million. Number 4. Walter and Anna's Mansion. This sprawling 5-acre country estate is the same dilapidated house from hell that was purchased by Walter Fielding Jr. and his girlfriend Anna in the 1986 comedy, The Money Pit. As the couple attempted to restore the once elegant mansion, they encountered a never-ending supply of issues that would test anyone's patience, as well as their bank account. You can find this 14,000 square foot colonial fully restored in all its glory in the village of Lattingtown, a part of Long Island's Gold Coast. Built in 1898, the stately private home truly was in shambles when Christina and Rich Makowski purchased it in 2002. The couple stated they could have made the sequel to the movie, as it proved to be a real-life renovation nightmare. Even more disastrous is that after a costly $5.9 million renovation, the home sold in 2019 for only $3.5 million. Number 5. The Cherry Tree Inn. This Grand Victorian built in the 1890s, played a pivotal role in the 1993 film, Groundhog Day. You probably recognize it as the quaint Cherry Tree Inn, the place where weatherman Phil Connors finds himself trapped in a time loop, waking up to Groundhog Day over and over again. Though the movie is set in the town of Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, most of it was filmed in Woodstock, Illinois, which is exactly where you'll find this home in real life. It was a private home back in 1993, with only the exterior being used in the film. However, by 2008, its new owners would turn it into a real-life bed and breakfast. Known today as the Cherry Tree Inn Bed and Breakfast, it features 5 cozy rooms, a wraparound porch, and you're welcome to wake up over and over and over again, in the same enchanting bed and breakfast where Phil stayed. Number 6. Cameron's house. This pristine modernist glass structure with a matching glass garage made a grand appearance in the 1986 coming-of-age film, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Nestled amidst lush greenery in the Chicago suburb of Highland Park, Illinois, it was home to Ferris Bueller's neurotic best friend, Cameron Fry. It was also the same location where Cameron famously sent his father's prized Ferrari crashing through the glass into the ravine below. What most don't realize is that the home was famous way before the movie. Built in 1953, and designed by a student of Mies van der Rohe, it was known for decades as a classic example of mid-century modern architecture. The iconic North Shore home, whose actual name is the Ben Rose House, became an official local landmark in 1987. Today, it is still a private residence, and has recently undergone a major renovation to bring it up to date. Number 7. The Von Trapp family mansion. It's no surprise that this mansion would still exist, as it was immortalized in the classic 1965 musical, The Sound of Music, which was based on a true story. Set amidst the breathtaking Austrian Alps in the city of Salzburg, the movie featured this magnificent villa as the home of Captain Von Trapp with his 7 musically gifted children, and of course his wife Maria. The property featured in the film was in fact the Hotel Schloss Leopoldskron, an enormous 300-year-old palace right next to the famous lake, that now offers its guests 12 luxurious suites to choose from. But what if you want to experience the real-life former home of the real Von Trapp family? Well, then it will have to be at this villa in Salzburg. For you see, after the family moved out, Nazi leader Heinrich Himmler moved in, and he even built himself an underground bunker. And they say his ghost still walks the premises. The villa is now a hotel called the Villa Trapp, and you are welcome to spend the night there, but we highly recommended you read the reviews before you do so. Number 8. Jordan Belfort's mansion. Though the stockbroker-turned-felon didn't actually live in this sprawling Gold Coast estate, nevertheless it was the symbol of his excessive lifestyle in the 2013 movie, Wolf of Wall Street. Located in Mill Neck, Long Island, the 15,000-square-foot mansion was built in 2010 for a wealthy equestrian and horse breeder, boasting stables, a tack room, a riding ring, and the works. Inside is a decadent oasis filled with extravagant rooms with lush furnishings. Outside are meticulously manicured lawns, a circular front courtyard with a fountain, and a spectacular rear entertainment complex. As for the true mansion that was once owned by the real-life Wolf of Wall Street, you can find it in Glen Head, Long Island, also on the Gold Coast. After being seized by the feds, it was sold in 2001 to pay back some of Belfort's fraud victims. The home has changed hands several times over the years, and most recently was on the market for $3.9 million. Number 9. The Rose Mansion. The 1989 dark comedy, War of the Roses, revolves around the bitter, violent, and eventually fatal divorce battle between Barbara and Oliver Rose. Their prized mansion, which served as the setting for much of the film, became the battleground for their marital strife, and was in fact the main reason they were at each other's throats. It was also where they met their demise after swinging onto the crystal chandelier, and moments later, came crashing down to the floor. Though the movie has the Rose Mansion situated in the lush and affluent northwest Washington, D.C., the real-life property can be found in a posh and private community in Hancock Park, Los Angeles. It looks a bit different today from how it looked in the movie, but that's only because the film crew had added details to the facade to give it a more East Coast appearance. Number 10. The Mrs. Doubtfire House. This corner Victorian served as the central backdrop to the 1993 movie, Mrs. Doubtfire, starring Robin Williams, who dressed as a British nanny, in order to fool his estranged wife Miranda, and spend more time with his kids. Just as the movie was set in San Francisco, you can find the real house in a charming Pacific Heights neighborhood of San Francisco. The home is still very much a private residence, and not open for show. Besides, the interior scenes were not even filmed at the house, as the inside was too small. However, it is still quite the popular spot, as fans gather outside year-round to pose for photos, and occasionally leave flowers for Robin Williams. Number 11. The Gone with the Wind Mansion. Frankly, my dear, but this was an actual place. Okay, so we know Gone with the Wind is one of those tacky problematic stories that hasn't aged well over the years. But did you know that Ashley Wilkes' antebellum mansion was the real thing, and not just a figment of Hollywood's imagination? Situated on 3 acres in Covington, Georgia, the White Greek Revival mansion that was known as 12 Oaks in the movie, was handpicked by author Margaret Mitchell herself. Filming never actually took place on the property in Georgia. Instead, the scenes were relegated to a Hollywood studio, oftentimes with paintings of the mansion or life-size recreations as the background. Today, the mansion continues to be known as 12 Oaks, and it is currently a bed and breakfast offering southern hospitality to their guests, as well as an event venue welcoming film crews and mostly wedding parties. Number 12. Noah's Mansion. This dilapidated mansion is the same fixer-upper that a young Noah Calhoun single-handedly renovated in the 2004 movie The Notebook for his future wife Allie. Located on Wadmalaw Island, South Carolina, on what was once a 900-acre plantation, it is now part of a large community of homes surrounded by acres of pristine landscape. The mansion embodies southern charm with its grand white columns, countless porches, and incredible water views of South Carolina's low country. Though it was the place where Noah and Allie's passionate and tumultuous love affair unfolded, in real life, it's a private residence owned by the same family since it was built in the 1850s. Unlike the other mansions in this lineup, you'd be hard-pressed to find fans taking selfies outside of this home, as it is a private residence tucked away in a private community. Last is number 13. The Murder House. Or quite simply, the American Horror Story House. Located in the Country Club Park district of Los Angeles, this iconic and seemingly eerie mansion served as the central setting for the first season of the popular television series. Built in 1908, it is known as the Rosenheim Mansion in real life. It features a brick exterior, with hauntingly beautiful architectural details, giving it a most ominous backdrop for the TV series, and practically making it a character in its own right. Though the mansion lacks a horrific past, it does a fantastic job concealing a lineup of other Hollywood roles on its resume. It's quite the popular filming location, with a long list of dark movies and shows that go back since the silent era. After purchasing the home in 2014, the current owners of this very private residence were not too keen on the actual ghosts that lingered in the basement. Nor were they ready for the fans performing satanic rituals on their lawn or those breaking in for an inside tour. They have since wisened up. And now with a fence in tow, they embrace their home with all of its quirks. And that's it for our 13 movie mansions that exist in real life. So, which of these mansions did you like the most? Are there any that you plan on seeing anytime soon? Anyway, if there's anything else you would like to mention about this topic, feel free to share it with us in the comments below. Furthermore, if you got any value out of this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and click on the bell icon so you never miss out on another video. With that said, we'd like to thank you for watching, and we'll see each other next time.